Hi, I'm here with Oli Farago from Coyote Software. So, Oli, can you just outline what's the biggest challenge you're finding in the industry?
I think the biggest overall challenge is ultimately the speed at which the industry has been ready to embrace not so much technology, but a change in working practice. I don't think it's the technology that's the problem, it's just the fact that people are used to working in a certain way, and what technology companies are inevitably asking is people to work in a different way. You know, and I think half of the challenge that we face isn't actually selling in the software solution. It's actually more about selling in the change in mindset and the change in process that's required to adopt something and make it a core part of what you do.
And what's slowing down that change in mindset? What's the obstruction to people changing?
I think habit. I think people have, there are a lot of incredibly successful businesses that have worked in a certain way for their entire lifetime, and in many cases that lifetime is, tens and sometimes hundreds of years in sort of buying and selling in a certain way. And so it's just, I think there can sometimes be a mentality from the top of these organizations, which is we haven't needed this so far, and we've built some of the most successful companies in the world. Why suddenly do you think we would need this now?
So how should we try and educate the industry?
We just have to make sure that there's an open dialogue between the property community and the technology community. I think both sides of the fence, if you like, have got a lot to learn from one another. So I think the first step is to make sure that we understand, us as the technology community need to make sure that we fully understand the pain points, the challenges, and the existing working practices of the companies that we're selling into. And then from that, we can make sure that we build and develop and continue to create solutions that are going to add true value to those organizations, and not try and use sexy tech, for want of a better term, and then find a place for it.
With that, what are the challenges people are really facing?
I think challenges that many people outside of the sector can't even believe that the world's second biggest asset class is facing, which is the fact that they can't always get real-time data on the properties that they own. We speak to some of the largest funds in the world who don't necessarily have real-time access to the tenants that are currently in the buildings, how much they're paying, how much they owe, because there's so much data stored in disparate silos, and they haven't yet gone through the process of really joining it up. So to find the most basic piece of information, they might need to go to 5 different sources to bring that together, probably in Excel, to then be able to pivot it and draw the insight and the analysis that they need. It might be simple questions like, what's our exposure to retail in Germany, or what's our exposure to this big box manufacturer, or that actually it takes a surprising amount of work to really answer.
So how long do you think it will take before the industry really gets a hold of it?
The problem is the industry is so broad, so I don't think there's any one answer to that. There are companies out there that are taking huge steps forward in the way that they look at their data and what they can do with it. But for every one of those, there is a company still that has the mindset that they don't need to do anything, and that actually they still believe that everybody else is wasting their time. So to get the whole industry over the line, I think it's going to take a long time. This year, I believe we'll definitely see big strides forward from a percentage of the industry.
Are there any particular hurdles that the industry has to get over to kind of get to that point?
Yeah, it's the mentality. It's having the buy-in from the top that technology is a crucial part of being a real estate business, that it's just one and the same, is that it's not that you have to change your business and suddenly become a different business. You just have to adapt and evolve your processes to make them more efficient and to use technology where you can. But that doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen accidentally. It doesn't happen by someone stumbling upon the perfect nirvana solution that they can put in to transform their business. It happens by a true mandate from the top down towards digital transformation, and making sure that people within the business are empowered to go out and find out what they can do with it.
Are you seeing any examples of where companies have really grasped this?
There are some fantastic companies out there that are grasping the fact that they fundamentally want to change their businesses and make them digital first. And those businesses are doing some really, really interesting and exciting things. You know, some of the stuff that Julie and Carey at STEMprop has been doing around the way that they manage the entire process of their business has been really, really interesting to watch. You know, obviously Daryl Colfrust at Palmer Capital is a huge champion of really embracing the way that technology can change the process of that business.
So what do you see out there that's really going to change the industry?
Well, for me, I think the most interesting of all of those is got to be around machine learning and artificial intelligence, but really around machine learning. I think, you know, we talked about the initial hurdle: get the data in one place, standardize it, make sure it's right and it's accurate. And then I think there is huge insight that you can draw through the use of ML. You know, at Coyote, our philosophy is step one is bring all the data together and make sure that we can answer any question that our users ask of the data. Step two is answer questions they didn't know they wanted to ask. And I think the potential for that type of use of ML is really exciting.
What does 2019 hold for you?
I certainly hope that 2019 is going to be the year of adoption. Like in 2017, when we first started, we saw an awful lot of people talking and, you know, having conversations around technology. I think in 2018, we saw a lot of people trying, maybe running some small pilots here and there, maybe, you know, putting a little bit of budget into just experimentation. And this year, we expect to see an awful lot more full rollouts, companies embracing wholeheartedly solutions that can help transform their businesses for the better.